Hi, I'm Kathy from Software Solutions. You can bring data into Excel from a huge variety of sources. And how you would do that is by simply choosing Data in the ribbon. Over here on the left-hand side is a collection of buttons all about getting and transforming data. You can get data from all sorts of different sources, but I just want to focus on text files or CSV files at this stage. So here's a button from text or CSV, which means comma separated values file. If I click this button, basically I have to go and locate the file I want to import. So I've got this company called Miller Textiles and I want to bring in the October 2022 data. So I click this file and I click import. Immediately a connection is made and a preview is shown. A preview of the data inside of the comma separated values file and the first 200 rows. So I'm going to click load and this will load the data into Excel. A new sheet is created that reflects the file name, Miller Textiles October 2022. The data is appearing inside the spreadsheet, and up here in my ribbon I see the Table Design tab, which means that this data has been formatted as a table. On the right hand side I see what they call the Queries and Connections pane, and I can see that there's a connection to this file and 178 rows were loaded. I can see a little preview of the data, that there's 6 columns when it was last refreshed, the source of the data, and so on. Now, when the data is formatted as a table, you do get this Table Design tab at the top. So it allows you to change the style, for example, and turn things off and on in these options. But it also allows you to refresh the data. If I click refresh, then the data is refreshed based on the source. So if the source data changes in the CSV file, we really want to refresh the table here and reconnect and get the latest data. Now you can control the refreshing, and there's a variety of ways you can do this. You could go to properties here, or you could hit the drop down on the refresh button and go to connection properties. When I go into connection properties, I could tell Excel to refresh the data every so many minutes, or refresh the data whenever the file is opened. And so these are your various controls that you have over refreshing the data and keeping it current. But I'm just going to go cancel for now. I can also go to here and choose the option to refresh, just by right-clicking and refresh. So there's a variety of ways that you can refresh. Now if you don't see your Queries and Connections pane, maybe you've closed it, you can turn that on by going to Data and choosing Queries and Connections, and that'll bring it back up. And oh look, there's another way to refresh. So there's a lot of ways to refresh. And also connections can be seen in this existing connections button as well. So I can see there's a connection here, and cancel. If I want to get rid of this query, I could right click and simply delete it, and that would delete the query. Or I could unlink it just by going to Data, well actually Table Design, and unlink. So that's basically bringing in a text file or a CSV file, and I want to bring in a couple more. So I'm going to go to Data, I'm going to go from text or CSV, I'm going to choose the November file and import, and once it's connected I'll have the option to load it, and so I'll load it into a new sheet. And again I'll go to Data, from text or CSV, choose the December file and import it. After it's connected, I'll then have the option to also load that file. And so now I've loaded 3 CSV files into Excel by going to Data and using this button here.